on digital radio, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Donut Bag presented by The Sportscast.
The Donut Bag, hosted by Joey Bag of Donuts. And here's your host, Joey Bag of Donuts.
Hi. Welcome to the Donut Bag, part of the Sportscast Network. It's just me riding solo, flying solo, doing something solo. Oh, and anyway, it's just me. So this might be brief. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see. You can join in on the conversation if you go to youtube.com/@JoeyBagOfDonuts V7F. I think you could also reply in Twitter. I'm not sure about that, but I think usually when people comment, it is through YouTube. So what is there to talk about? Steelers 21, Patriots 14. What a weird game. Here's what I said before the game. Here's how I predicted it. I said the Patriots are not that good. The Steelers defense cannot possibly be this bad, and maybe the offense will improve and they'll win 27-20. So I was close. I had them winning by 7, and so I think I was sort of accurate by that. But the Patriots were better than I thought, and I keep seeing all day the debate of people very angry about this game or people happy about this game, saying a win is a win. Some people say, hey, you go into New England where you almost never win, and that's impressive. Other people will say this is ridiculous. Fire Tomlin. I've seen that so much. It's people so angry about winning, and I want to address that. Let's talk about the whole fire Tomlin thing. First of all, he's not going anywhere. Sorry. He's not going anywhere this year. He's not going anywhere next year. Maybe I believe the contract he signed was a 3-year deal that goes through 2027 or something like that. So maybe if things go bad, and I mean really bad, they won't renew his contract. But they are not paying him and then another coach to coach this team, considering they're paying him like almost $20 million. That's not happening. So he's not going anywhere. Second of all, this was a transition year. This is a bridge year. This year doesn't count. This year is all about next year. Next year, 2026, that's when the draft will be in Pittsburgh. That's when the Steelers will draft their quarterback, whoever this guy is, the Messiah. And he is going to bring us to the promised land. And he will, and everything will be wonderful. And you know, he will not be a bust of a quarterback, even though a pretty good majority of quarterbacks turn out to be busts. No, he will be perfect. He will be the next Bradshaw. He will be like if Terry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger had a baby, and Tom Brady was involved also. It's going to be the most wonderful quarterback ever, and we're going to draft him, and then everything will be wonderful. So this whole, complaining about Tomlin now, it means nothing. Second of all, the thing I keep hearing today is, well, it's September football. We've heard it all month. September football. And I think there's something to that. When you consider how many changes they made to this roster and how little everybody, like the starters actually played in training camp and preseason, and that's what happens everywhere. Yeah, they still need time to gel. So, okay, let's have that as an excuse. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. There's no good reason why they should have won that game. It is they had no business winning that game. Causing all the way that the Patriots were driving down the field, and then just as they were about to score, getting a turnover, a fumble, or an interception, or something like that, so many times. That's just, I mean, it's not luck because the Steelers caused those turnovers, but my goodness, this is not a way to win. But we've been saying that for like 5 years now. We've been saying these kind of wins are not sustainable. But, and usually the statistic is in 1-score games, you're like 500. You win some, you lose some, and that's how it goes. Not with the Steelers. The Steelers excel in 1-score games. Why? Because they're built for 1-score games. It's ridiculous. But you know what? It kind of sucks as a Sophie. Come here. So I actually do have a co-host today. Come up here. Here's Sophie. She is my co-host. Hi, say hi, Sophie. Okay, so she's my co-host. She has to hear me talk all the time. Look at the camera. She has to hear me talk about the Steelers all the time. So she knows all about it. And what was I saying? I was saying, this is the brand of football that the Steelers play really sucks. It's not exciting, but we were spoiled. We were spoiled with some of the best, the best players. That they say you either, to win in the NFL, it's either the X's and O's or the Jimmies and Joes. And the Steelers had the best Jimmies and Joes. They had one of the best quarterbacks in Ben Roethlisberger. They had probably the best wide receiver in Antonio Brown. They had one of the best running backs in Le'Veon Bell. And Steelers games were so much fun. They'd put up, Ben would throw for 5 touchdowns and stuff like that. And it was amazing. And then they went away and now they're all gone. And then we got stuck with Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky and Russell Wilson and all this and Najee Harris and all this crap. Right, Sophie? Yes. Did you like Kenny Pickett? No, you didn't. Now we got stuck with crap. But that's I know. I agree, Soph. But that's the NFL. Look around. Look around at the NFL. All you people say, "Oh, tired. Tomlin has to go." And by the way, I agree with you. He's been here too long. I'd be fine with him going. And people say, "Well, he could get another job somewhere else." Then go. You know what? Andy Reid was a good coach with the Eagles, and he had to go. It happens. He's just outworn his welcome. You can't stay at one place for I know the Steelers love stability, but you can't stay at the same place all the time. So yeah, but Tomlin isn't going anywhere. But anyway, look around at the NFL. Basically, you have 3 good teams: Ravens, Eagles, Bills. Maybe the Chiefs. Maybe, but I don't know what the heck's going on with them. There's just some weird stuff going on there. But the rest of the league, and then you have your really bad teams: Dolphins, Browns, Jets, every damn year. You have your really bad teams that usually lose all the time. The rest of the league, the other like 20 some teams, they're all in this mushy middle. They're all in this just maybe they'll win, maybe they'll lose every week. Every week it's the same thing. That's how the league is. So you get mad. You get mad because the Steelers win. Like, it's hard to win in the NFL. And as much as, I think Tomlin needs to go. I don't think they're gonna win a championship with him anymore. But he wins. and he keeps doing it. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just so tired of the talk. I was just appreciate the wins. You know, this was never going to be a Super Bowl team. We knew this. You know, and another thing people say, oh, they're going all in. It's like, no, they're not. They didn't mortgage the future for this year. If anything, they're what was the opposite of mortgaging the future? They reverse mortgage the future. They have 1 million draft picks next year. They're all geared up for 2026. Yes, they are. They're geared up for 2026, aren't they? Yes, they are. You're good, Sophie. She's so cute. Sophie has a Steelers bandana. Look at how cute is that? How cute is that? But yeah, this year was just for fun. It's like, let's get this. Basically, this whole year is let's get this old guy on a 1-year contract and see what happens. Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Ramsey, just let's just see what happens. So, you know, this isn't Super Bowl or bust or anything like that. They were just trying something. So let's just be along for the ride. Yes. But have we seen any progress over the last 3 weeks? If you remember the Jets game, the offensive line was absolutely horrible, and Rodgers got sacked many times. The Seahawks game, the offensive line was still pretty horrible, a little bit better. And I think Rodgers still got sacked sometimes. This game, he did not get sacked, which is pretty impressive because the Patriots defense, I think, creates a lot of sacks. Still, it's not good, but it's getting slightly better. People say, well, why didn't Aaron Rodgers, why weren't there more deep throws? Why didn't he throw more in the middle of the field and this and stuff like that? Like that's because he's getting rid of the ball as quickly as possible. Isn't he? Yes, he is. He's getting the ball so quickly. Excuse me. So the offensive line still needs work. One thing that's a little concerning is, I guess, the offensive line in the middle is a little bit suspect, and Zach Frazier is supposed to be really good. So I don't know if he's having a sophomore slump or whatever. I don't know. Also, Fautanu is not having a great time, which we expected him to be some like ready-made, some like, you know, like perfect, flawless player that's never going to make mistakes. He's basically still a rookie. So, I mean, you just got to deal with that. Broderick Jones, he's Broderick Jones. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he's not a total bust. We'll see. I don't know. That's a little scary. So the offensive line getting a little bit better, still not great. Now the defense, they got better. If you remember in the Jets game, the Jets ran for like, I don't know, I believe 8,970 miles on the Steelers, I believe. And the Seahawks ran a lot on them also. The Patriots were somewhat successful running, but really that was a little bit deceptive because like a lot of the Patriots runs were Drake May escaping and scrambling. He's pretty good, and he's going to be pretty good. And that's why I said the Patriots are just not that good. They just don't have a great roster right now. So, you know, it's just not their time yet. You know, if they were a better team, they would have won that game yesterday. But look who stood out. Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward was a force. He caused fumbles. He caused interceptions. He was a monster out there. He was, you know, vintage Cam Hayward. TJ Watt did something. That was nice. That's another debate of people saying, oh, well, just, you know, people saying, well, he doesn't have any sacks. He stinks. He's not doing anything. He's overpaid. And other people are saying, well, he doesn't. Just because he doesn't have sacks doesn't mean he's making an impact. okay, whatever, but you're making a lot of money to not have any stats there, bro. Well, he fixed that. He had 2 sacks. He had a huge game. So hopefully we see more than that. But that's kind of, they're 2 of the highest paid players on the team, so that's what you expect. But still, amazing game. And no, they're not going to cause that many turnovers every game. So we'll see. But the defense a lot better. And considering who was out for the game, there's no what's his face, the linebacker, Highsmith. There was no Highsmith. There was no Joey Porter Jr. There was no Deshaun Elliott. Considering, and they were basically a new defense to begin with. That's why we're getting all these quote unquote communications issues, which seem to have happened all the time. Yes, they have communication issues. Yes, they do. Considering that, that's impressive. But what's his name? Who is the player that just came up for Jabril Peppers was a former Patriot, and he caused a fumble that had to feel good. Also, the defensive lineman Ukulele, or whatever the heck his name is, he was also a former Patriot. He had a good game too. Also, the debut of Derek Harmon, first round draft pick. And the joke was, well, the defensive line was so bad because Derek Harmon's out there, and you wait till Derek Harmon shows up, he's going to fix everything. Well, he didn't exactly fix everything because he was kind of on a pitch count, but he did help things. And for a first game, he had a sack. I think he has some tackles. Very promising, very, very good. Hopefully, we'll see more from him. So we will see. But the offense, and Jaylen Warren showed that he could be running back 1. It was a really weird game because the Patriots started, and on the third play they fumbled, and the Steelers drove down and had this perfect drive, and they score. It was a pitch to Kenny Gainwell, and they looked awesome, and they were able to run the ball. It was amazing. Then the Patriots give it up again, and the Steelers drive down, and it was a touchdown to DK Metcalf, and it's like 14-0. It's like, wow, this is amazing. This is going to be a blowout. And then the middle of the game, the offense did absolutely nothing. It was nothing but 3 and outs. There was a horrible interception by Aaron Rodgers to Spillane. Ugh. Then in the end, when it was 14-14, Steelers put together a great drive to win the game with a touchdown pass to Calvin Austin. And great. It was just really weird. It was a great beginning, great ending to the offense. The middle was an absolute disaster. So, but Jaylen Warren at times ran really well. The thing about Jaylen Warren is, he's a pretty good runner, but he also excels as a receiver. And that's why you want him all the time. But, considering Caleb Johnson has not gone very well so far, and Kenny Gainwell is not exactly who you want as a main back, it's Jaylen Warren or nothing. Or maybe Trey Sermon or something like that, or whoever. But, this is it. So you might as well see if Jaylen Warren can be the guy. We'll see. What else? That's pretty much it. Now it's on to Dublin for the Vikings game, and I don't know what to expect. First of all, the Vikings absolutely destroyed the Bengals. Holy cow. That was absolute madness. Are the Vikings really that good, or are the Bengals that bad? I kept hearing that the Bengals backup quarterback was supposed to be okay. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they just need to adjust her. I don't know. It's possible the Vikings might be that good. They do not have their rookie quarterback McCarthy because he's hurt. So they put in Carson Wentz. I didn't see much of the game, so I don't know if he was that good. I know the defense was amazing, and I think that's the biggest concern for the Steelers is the Vikings defense. Run by who? What's his name? I forget. The guy that was a coach here for a year. But the Vikings defense seems to be really good. And I kind of wish Brian Flores. That's the defensive coordinators. I kind of wish that they were playing McCarthy because Carson Wentz might be the perfect person. He might be like the next Sam Darnold. That coach in Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell, is an offensive genius, and he could take almost any quarterback and make them good. I remember a couple years ago, Joshua Dobbs. He was bouncing around the league. He was with the Browns or something like that, and the Vikings had a desperate situation in quarterback. Like their first, second, and third stringers got hurt or something like that. So they picked up Joshua Dobbs from the Browns that week, started him, and he won. And that's all because of Kevin O'Connell basically being Joshua Dobbs' brain, just feeding him the plays and telling him what to expect every play. And it worked. And it's absolutely amazing. It doesn't help that Joshua Dobbs is like a freaking literally a rocket scientist, and like insanely smart. So I'm sure that had something to do with it. But Carson Wentz, I mean, the dude has a pedigree. The dude was something else. He might have won an MVP that one year for the Eagles if he didn't blow out his knee. And then it seems like ever since then, he just wasn't the same. And also, I don't know, maybe not the greatest dude, but I could totally see a scenario where he becomes like the next Sam Darnold. I've seen the prediction. It's like, well, we're not going to see McCarthy anymore, playing anymore this year, even when he's healthy. I could see that. I could see Wentz just, them just rattling off this great winning streak or something like that. So the Vikings are very dangerous, but the game is in Dublin, Ireland. And I know so many people that are going, and I am jealous. And that sounds like the most amazing opportunity. And I'm so happy for you. Yeah, I'm also jealous. But that is going to be so cool for people. I know people that it'll be their first time in Europe, let alone in Ireland or something like that. I've never been to Ireland. The only country I've ever been to in Europe is Italy. That was when I was a kid. I would love to go to Ireland someday. That sounds so cool. But when you have these games in different areas, like when they play in Brazil or London or wherever the heck they're playing these games, wherever you have a different situation, there's no home field advantage. The field is weird. The conditions are weird. But what really concerns me is I remember the last time they played in Europe, in London, the Steelers, they got destroyed. I think that was the year they started 0-4 or something like that. And I believe it was the Vikings that they played. and they lost. And one of the reasons that they lost was because they waited to the last minute to travel over to Europe. And there's a 6-hour difference between Eastern time zone and Europe. And that was one of the reasons that was cited, is we waited too late to travel there, and our bodies were all messed up, and that's why we lost. So obviously they've learned their lesson, and they're not going to wait till the last minute to travel to Europe. Right? Wrong. I think they're doing the exact same thing. So I hate to say this, but I think this is almost a guaranteed win for the Minnesota. Now, Minnesota is in a weird situation. They're playing 2 games in a row in Europe, which is weird. I guess they're playing one in Dublin this week, and then I'm guessing in England a week later. So that is weird. I think eventually there's going to be just teams based in Europe. I think there's going to be like a whole division of teams, like 4 teams in Europe. I don't know how the heck that's going to work, but I see that someday in the future. So it's crazy, but we'll see. Now, keep in mind, the game is at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday Eastern time. So 9:30 in the morning, which would be what, 3:30 Dublin time. I think this is the first game ever in Ireland. I'm not sure. But this just has the potential to be, I don't know, not good for the Steelers. I am not expecting a win here. There's just so many things going against the Steelers. You have the weird venue, the weird situation. Minnesota looks good. I don't know. The Steelers do not look good. So this has all the makings of a loss. So just trying to just don't freak out, because it's just one of those weird things. So anyway, we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. Okay. That's all I got. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next week.